6.1. Greatest common factor. Factor by grouping. Factors and divisors. We say m is a factor of n if there exists some integer k such that mk equals n. And recall that when we wanted to find the greatest common factor of two numbers, we first put them into prime factored form. So consider 18 and 24. Prime factored form of 18 is 2 times 3 times 3. Prime factored form of 24, 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. So the greatest common factor of 18 and 24 is going to be whatever factors they have in common. They both have a factor of 2 in common. And they both have a factor of 3 in common. So that common factor of 2 shows up, and that common factor of 3 shows up. So the GCF of 18 and 24 is 6. We use this same principle when looking for the GCF of monomials, which could involve not just numbers, but variables as well. List the positive divisors of 36. Use a factor tree to display your results. Well, we can take the number 36 and note that it's even, so we know that we can divide it by 2, which we do in our heads, and we get 18. "18 is also even. We divide it by 2 and get 9. And 9 we know is the product of 3 and 3. So the numbers at the end of all the branches of the factored tree are the prime factored form of the number. 36 is equal to 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. Now we're going to list the positive factors that are common between 48 and 75. We can do that with factored trees for the respective numbers. 48 is even, so we know that we can divide it by 2. And we'll get 24. 24 also even, so we can divide by 2. We get 12, which is even, so divisible by 2. So we get 2 and 6, and we know that 6 is the product of 2 and 3. 75, what should jump out at us, the fact about 75 that should jump out at us is that it ends in a 5. So it's divisible by 5. And 75 divided by 5 is 15. And 15 is the product of 3 and 5. So we get 5, 3, and 5. Now, what positive factors are common to 48 and 75? Well, only 3. Only this factor of 3 is common. There's 4 factors of 2 in 48 and 2 factors of 5 in 75. And the only common factor between the two numbers is the number 3. Greatest common divisor of two numbers is the largest positive integer that divides both numbers. So let's find the greatest common divisor of 120 and 432? Well, we can do factor trees. 120 is even, so divisible by 2. We get 60. 60 is even, divisible by 2. We get 30. 30 is even, divisible by 2. We get 15. And then 15 is the product of 3 and 5. $432 is even, and we divide it by 2 and get 216. Which is also even, and we divide that by 2, get 108. Which is also even, we divide that by 2 and get 54. And we divide that by 2 and get 27. Which is 3 cubed, or 3 times 9. And 9 is 3 times 3. So what do we have in common? There are 3 factors of 2 in 120 and 4 factors of 2 in 432. So the minimum number of factors will be the factors that they have in common for any particular group of factors. And then for 3, we see 1 factor of 3 in 120, and 3 factors of 3 in 432, so just 1 factor of 3 in the GCD. And there's a factor of 5 in 120, but no factor of 5 in 432. So the GCD of 120 and 432 is equal to 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Which is 8 times 3, so 24. Now let's go to our TI and select Math and arrow key to the right to the number column, and then arrow key down or push 9 to get to GCD. Hit enter. Type in your numbers. 120, comma, 432, close parenthesis, enter. And there you have it. Let's find the GCD of 1080 and 2268. And we'll use the calculator for this. So we do math, arrow to the right number, push 9 for GCD. And we had 10 GCD of 1080, 2268 is 108.